Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Phaitoon Sarujikamjorn, and today we're diving into something truly exciting that can transform how you feel after every meal. We're talking about M-Smart, a brand new product making its debut specifically for the US market. Do you often experience that after lunch slump or the sugar roller coaster of highs and lows after eating? M-Smart is here to help you get off that ride, offering a smart support for real energy. It's about cultivating a balanced, healthy response to the foods you eat, especially the carbohydrates that serve as our main form of energy. This healthy response plays a crucial role in your overall wellness. Join us as we explore how M-Smart is positioned to help you feel more energized, satisfied, and in control after your meals, supporting healthy blood glucose levels and reducing those pesky cravings that often lead to snacking. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take sources, research, all that stuff, and really boil it down to the key insights for you. Today, we're diving into M-Smart. It's a new product, and it's all about helping you get more balanced energy and maybe a healthier response to the food you eat. So get this. What if you could actually lower that, blood sugar spike after you eat by over 40%? That's what some of the science behind M-Smart is suggesting. And honestly, that feels like a pretty big deal for just feeling good day to day. Because let's face it, a lot of us feel like we're on this biochemical roller coaster after meals, you know the drill, right? That burst of energy, then bam, the crash hits. And that leads to crazy cravings, feeling tired, foggy, that awful mid-afternoon slump. It's super common for anyone just trying to keep their energy steady, Try not to constantly fight the urge to grab another snack. So today, we're really going to unpack how M-Smart actually works, like down at the biochemical level, how it supports your body's natural way of handling carbs, helps balance energy, curbs cravings, and keeps you feeling, more in control. And to guide us through the science, we've got an expert who's great at breaking down this complex nutritional stuff into plain English. Ready to dig in? Okay, so let's set the stage. We eat, multiple times a day. But we probably don't think too hard about how our bodies are actually responding to that food, especially carbs, right? Our main energy source. We're really talking about dodging that afternoon energy nosedive or that feeling like you always need a snack because your energy is just all over the place. What's actually happening inside that causes this whole roller coaster situation?
Yeah, that's exactly the right place to start. It's really interesting when you look at the difference between, let's call it a balanced glucose response versus an unbalanced one after you eat carbs. With a balanced response, sure, your blood glucose goes up after you eat, it's supposed to, but then it comes back down smoothly, gently, back to baseline. And that leaves you feeling satisfied, with sustained energy. That's the goal.
Right, steady.
Exactly. But with an unbalanced response, you get this really fast, high spike in glucose, like flooring the gas pedal. And then, just as quickly, it crashes down, often way below your starting point.
The crash.
That's the crash.
Yeah.
And that dramatic drop, that's often what triggers those intense cravings, feeling hungry again really soon, and that big energy slump. Sometimes you feel even worse than before you ate. And this whole thing is definitely amplified by our modern diets, especially the sheer amount of added sugars we consume. A lot of people are getting around 270 calories a day just from added sugar. The recommendation is closer to 100.
Wow, that much.
Yeah, it sneaks into so many things like sweetened drinks, snacks. It adds up fast.
That's a huge gap between how our bodies could respond and how they often do.
Yeah.
I definitely recognize that urge for another snack right after eating sometimes.
Yeah.
But what does this do to us long term? Is it just about feeling tired?
That's a really important question, because beyond just the immediate feeling, this kind of dysregulation, this up and down with glucose metabolism, can actually increase something called oxidative stress in the body.
Oxidative stress.
Yeah.
Like internal damage.
Sort of, yeah. You can think of it almost like cellular rust. It's wear and tear caused by unstable molecules, free radicals attacking healthy cells. And over time, that can contribute to, broader health issues. And that brings up a key point. How do we protect ourselves? Antioxidants are crucial here. They help neutralize that oxidative stress, and we'll definitely touch on how M-Smart factors into that protection.
Okay, this is super interesting. So knowing the problem, the roller coaster, the oxidative stress, how does M-Smart actually step in? What's the science? How does it work, biochemically to help manage energy and cravings?
Right. M-Smart uses a blend of 3 key plant-based ingredients. Each one has a pretty unique job to do. First up is White Mulberry Leaf Extract. Now, mulberry leaves themselves are pretty common, used a lot in Asia. But the specific white mulberry leaf extract in M-Smart is the one that's been clinically studied for these particular benefits. Its active component is something called DNJ. That's short for deoxynitromycin, which is a mouthful, so we'll stick with DNJ.
DNJ, got it.
So what's really cool about DNJ is its structure. It looks remarkably similar to simple sugars like glucose.
Huh.
Think of it like this. DNJ acts like a friendly bouncer for carbohydrates in your small intestine. Because it looks so much like sugar, it kind of temporarily occupies the enzymes that normally break down carbs really fast, the ones that would usually cause that rush of sugar and starch into your blood.
So it runs interference.
Exactly. It competitively inhibits these specific enzymes, alpha-glucosidase for sugars and alpha-amylase for starches. By getting in the way, DNJ basically slows down how quickly those sugars and starches are broken down and absorbed. So instead of a sudden flood, it's more like a gentle, controlled release of glucose into your system.
That's a great way to put it. So it's not blocking carbs completely, just managing the pace.
Precisely. It's about slowing things down, not stopping them.
And what happens to the carbs that are slowed down, the ones not absorbed right away?
Good question. They just continue moving through your digestive system. Some might be excreted, but interestingly, some can also be broken down later by your beneficial gut bacteria, your microbiome, which can actually be good for your colon health. And this works on both simple sugars like table sugar and complex starches, think rice, pasta, bread. So it's quite versatile.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the next ingredient?
Next is guar gum. This is a type of soluble fiber. Specifically, it's called a galactomannan. And the guar gum in M-Smart is treated with a natural enzyme process. This just makes it dissolve much better in water, which is important for a drink mix.
Right, so it mixes easily.
Exactly. Now, the mechanism here is different but also fascinating. This specific guar gum helps increase levels of a key satiety hormone called CCK. CCK basically sends a signal from your gut up to your brain that says, hey, I'm full, stop eating.
Oh, interesting. So it helps you feel satisfied sooner and maybe for longer?
That's exactly it. This happens when the good bacteria in your gut ferment the fiber. They produce these beneficial compounds, short-chain fatty acids, and those trigger the I'm full signal to your brain. This helps reduce hunger and promotes that feeling of lasting fullness.
Neat.
And what's really unique about this guar gum is two things. One, it works at a pretty low dose, just 2 grams. And two, it's slowly fermented by your gut bacteria.
Why is slow fermentation important?
Because it acts as a prebiotic, feeding those good gut bugs, but without causing the gas and bloating that sometimes happen with other fibers that ferment really quickly. So you get the fullness benefit without the uncomfortable side effects.
Oh, that's a huge plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so mulberry for slowing carbs, guar gum for fullness. What's the third one?
The third key ingredient is beta-carotene. You probably know it as a carotenoid, the stuff that makes carrots orange, but it's also a really potent antioxidant.
Right, back to the oxidative stress idea.
Exactly. Remember how we said unbalanced glucose metabolism can increase that cellular rust? Beta-carotene's role here is to help combat that. It helps improve the body's antioxidant defenses against the stress caused by those glucose fluctuations. So M-Smart really has this sort of sophisticated 3-part approach. Slow the carbs, boost the fullness signals, and add antioxidant protection.
Wow, that's pretty comprehensive. Okay, the science sounds solid. But, you know, the big question is always, does it actually work? What's the real-world proof? Do the studies back this up with actual results for people? Because that's what everyone listening wants to know, right?
Absolutely. And the clinical results are really compelling. Let's look at a key study on the mulberry leaf extract first. This was a double-blind, placebo-controlled crossover study that's a very rigorous design. Healthy people were given 75 grams of pure sucrose. That's like 6 tablespoons of sugar. A lot.
Whoa, okay. Sugar bomb.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They took it either with M-Smart's mulberry extract or a placebo. The results. The mulberry extract significantly lowered the peak blood glucose level by about 42% over the next 2 hours compared to the placebo. And importantly, it also led to a lower insulin response. That clearly shows it's blunting that spike and the potential crash that follows.
42% reduction from pure sugar. That's seriously impressive. Did it work similarly with starches like bread or pasta-type carbs?
Excellent question. Yes, they tested that too. Another similar crossover study used 50 grams of maltodextrin, which is a common starch. And again, they saw significant benefits, lower blood glucose and lower insulin response when taken with the mulberry extract. So it works for both sugars and starches.
Okay, good to know. But what about like a real meal, not just pure sugar or starch?
They looked at that too. A study was done with people consuming a more typical mixed meal, white bread, some protein, some fat. Even in that real-world meal scenario, a single dose of the mulberry extract significantly reduced the total blood glucose and insulin levels over time compared to the placebo.
That's huge. Knowing it works with actual meals makes it feel much more applicable. What about the Guar Gum? Did they study the fullness factor?
They did. Another crossover study had healthy people eat yogurt for breakfast, either plain or with 2 grams of the specific M-Smart Guar Gum mixed in. The results showed a significant improvement in how full people felt and a significant decrease in how hungry they felt afterward.
So they felt fuller longer.
Exactly. And here's something really interesting. They also tracked what participants ate for the rest of the day. The group that had the Guar Gum at breakfast actually consumed significantly fewer total calories over the entire day.
Wow, so that breakfast effect lasted.
It seems so. It shows that enhanced satiety can really impact your eating patterns later on, helping naturally reduce overall intake without feeling deprived.
That's powerful. Any studies on the ingredients combined?
Yeah.
Like in the actual M-Smart product?
Yes, there was a blend study looking at the combination. The mulberry leaf D&J and the Guar Gum together. Participants took this blend with their largest meal of the day. And the results were really positive. Significant reductions in feelings of hunger, the desire to eat, and cravings for specific things, sweet, salty, and savory foods.
So it hit hunger and cravings. That's key.
Absolutely. And another crucial finding. The blend was reported to be exceptionally well tolerated. No adverse effects were noted, which is always important for something you take regularly.
Okay. The data really seems to line up with the mechanisms you described. It's quite convincing. So let's talk practicalities. How does someone actually use M-Smart to get these benefits? What's the protocol?
It's designed to be really easy. M-Smart comes in these convenient single-serving sachets, like a drink mix.
Okay.
You just mix it with water. For the best results, especially for managing that post-meal response, the ideal time is about 20 to 30 minutes before a meal, particularly before a meal that you know is going to be higher in carbohydrates. That helps get the ingredients working right when you need them to blunt the spike.
20, 30 minutes before. Got it. What if you forget, or it's just not practical sometimes?
That's okay. While before the meal is optimal for that specific effect, you can actually take it any time during the day and still get benefits, particularly from the satiety and antioxidant aspects.
Good flexibility. What's it taste like? Does it mix well?
It has a light, kind of mild, sweet tea flavor. And yes, it mixes really well. You can even mix it with other compatible products, like Nubiome, for instance. They offer complementary benefits. You get the M-Smart effects, plus support for your microbiome, digestion. It all works together.
And no caffeine. Prep.
Correct. No caffeine. So you can take it any time of day without worrying about it keeping you up or interfering with other things. It's really designed for daily use. A standard bag has 30 servings, so it typically lasts a month if you take it once a day.
Okay. Simple enough. So, putting it all together, what can someone listening genuinely expect to feel? What's the change they might notice in their day-to-day life?
I think the biggest things you can expect are feeling more energized, more satisfied after eating, and just generally more in control. You might notice you feel fuller for longer stretches, which naturally cuts down on that urge to constantly grab snacks. It supports healthy blood sugar levels, already in the normal range, of course, and promotes a more balanced response to glucose. It's really about contributing to long-term metabolic balance. Fundamentally, it helps you sidestep that frustrating spike and crash cycle.
Right.
And when you avoid that, those really strong, tempting cravings for more sugar or snacks tend to lessen quite a bit. It stops that feeling like you're constantly fighting your body's signals.
Yeah, getting off that roller coaster.
Right.
No more post-lunch zombie mode, maybe.
Exactly.
That sounds fantastic. Now, to make sure everyone is super clear, especially if they're sharing this info, let's nail down the precise benefits, the things we absolutely DO focus on. You should talk about feeling energized, satisfied, and in control after meals. Correct.
Yes, definitely.
Do talk about feeling fuller longer. Do talk about supporting healthy blood sugar levels and a balanced glucose response. And definitely DO, emphasize avoiding those spike crash cycles and reducing those pesky snack temptations.
Correct. Those are the core supported benefits.
Okay. And just as important, what are the things we absolutely do not say about M-Smart? The claims to avoid.
This is critical for accurate communication. First, do not call M-Smart a weight loss product. It's not designed or marketed for weight loss. The packaging will even explicitly state, not a weight loss product.
Okay, crystal clear. Not for weight loss. What else?
Also, do not make any claims about hair growth or income potential. Those are unrelated. Crucially, do not make medical claims. Don't link it to treating or preventing diseases like diabetes or hypoglycemia. It supports healthy glucose levels, but it's not a medical treatment.
Right, very important distinction.
And similarly, do not compare M-Smart to prescription medications like GLP-1s, Ozempic, or similar drugs. They work very differently. Finally, 2 more points. M-Smart isn't positioned for appetite suppression. The focus is satiety, feeling full. And claims about reducing bloating are specifically for a different product, New Biome, not M-Smart.
Got it. So stick to the supported benefits. Energy, satiety, balanced glucose response, avoiding the spike crash, curbing cravings, and avoid weight loss, medical claims, drug comparisons, and unrelated stuff.
Exactly. Keeping the messaging precise and responsible is key.
Perfect. Okay, let's do a super quick recap of our deep dive on M-Smart. If you remember 3 things, it's mechanism, proof, action. The mechanism. It works by cleverly slowing down carb absorption and boosting those fullness signals from your gut. The proof. Solid's clinical studies show it significantly reduces those post-meal glucose spikes, lowers insulin response, and helps reduce hunger and cravings. The action. You can easily mix it into your daily routine, ideally before meals, to gain that sustained energy and better control over hunger and cravings. Makes sense.
Perfectly summarized.
So just imagine for a second, a day where your energy just holds steady. No crazy highs, no desperate lows. Your mind stays sharp, focused. And those nagging cravings that usually pop up, they just kind of fade into the background. Allows you to actually fuel your body properly, feel good, and perform at your best without that constant battle. Support balanced energy, reduce cravings. Test M-Smart for 30 days. Get started today, send DM EM. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into M-Smart. We really hope you feel more informed and empowered to maybe make a positive shift in your daily energy and just how you feel overall.
That wraps up our insightful discussion on M-Smart. As we've learned, this is a product designed to be a smart support for real energy, helping you experience no spikes, no crashes after meals. To recap, M-Smart is a mixable drink that for maximum benefits should be taken about 20 to 30 minutes before your meal. However, even if you forget, it still offers benefits anytime during the day. Its primary function is to balance your energy after meals, helping you avoid that common spike from a meal followed by the crash that can lead to cravings. It has a light sweet tea flavor and is caffeine-free. It's perfect for daily use and is available in 30 serving sachets, making it convenient for subscriptions. Thank you for joining me on this episode. We hope you're excited about the potential of M-Smart to support your energy and wellness journey. Stay well, and we'll catch you next time.